So what is going on, people, and welcome to episode 18 of the FIFA 22 career mode here with Barnsley. Another season in the championship, unfortunately for us. If you haven't seen the last episode, I implore you to go and see that. Playoff final, obviously, spoiler, we didn't win. We lost in the last minute to Reading, who got promoted. But this season, we have well and truly levelled up this squad. You guys know I love a free transfer, and well, we have brought in no less than 10 players on free transfers. A couple of players have left. We have quite a bloated squad. I'm looking to get a lot of players out. But yeah, we've seriously levelled up this squad. So let me introduce you to the new players that are in the building. So I'm going to crop this, so apologies if it looks a bit weird, but I don't want spoilers because they're, a lot of new names, so I don't want to give so many away. But a couple of players, young players that have come in and then immediately gone out on loan, and the first of those is Ben Johnson, formerly of West Ham United, was released, 22 years old. We brought him in initially, and he was going to be a backup to Callum Britton, but because of other players that we've brought in, it meant that actually Johnson didn't really have a place in the squad, but young enough, to grow, still got plenty of room to grow. So I thought, as he's young, let's get him out on loan. And well, he's going to be spending this season at Ajax, so hopefully if he can get enough playing time, then he could grow quite nicely. But yeah, decent little pickup, I thought, for free. Young option, like I said, plenty of room to grow. May well be involved in the squad next season, but yeah, he is the first member of the squad. The next youngster that we have brought in is Xavi Simons from PSG. Again, released 19 years old. He was someone I've been keeping tabs on for a while. And yeah, luckily no one else picked him up. He has gone on loan to Verona for the season. Already grown up 1 to 70. But again, lots of high hopes for this guy. Initially, again, when we signed him, did have a place in the squad. But because of other players we have brought in, he's going to go out on loan as well, but really excited to see how high this guy can go. And then the one guy that I did mention last season that we had already agreed to bring in, Pape Cheikh Diop, 73 rated, 24 years old, again, was one of those that we brought in and initially had a place in the starting lineup, but because of the players that we have brought in, he's now finds himself on the bench, is a backup player, and just the strength and depth that we now have, we've seriously leveled up this squad. We should easily be competing for the title. So they're the two youngsters that have gone out, one that we knew about, so there's 7 more new players to introduce you to. And I'll start from the low end, and we'll work our way up. So first new addition is Daniel Hoyer Fernandez, was a German club, I do believe. I can't remember exactly which club he was at. But a good backup keeper, better than Walton. Is on the older side, but the experience necessarily not a bad thing. That does mean that Walton has left us. I made a couple of permanent sales as well as those 2 loan signings. But yeah, a lot more players hopefully to go out the door. But yeah, he's happy to be a backup. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to keep faith with Brad Collins. But the experience in Hoyer Fernandez, really happy. There were other options to get on a free transfer. Southampton released both McCarthy and Fraser Forster, but both quite old. Hernandez a few years younger, so I just thought this would be a decent option. But yeah, so just a backup to have in and around the squad. The next backup player we have brought in is Lucas Klunter. I'm going to go with Klunter because of the umlaut over the U, but Klunter can play centre back or right back. Again, just another backup option. His versatility is important. Coming on a free transfer from a German club. Again, not too sure which club he was at. But again, just another backup player, improving the strength and depth that we already have. The same can be said for Marcel Franke, a few years older, 29, 71. Again, he's probably going to be last choice centre-back, really. But again, just improving the strength and depth. He's coming in a free as well. So again, moving up in rating, 73 rated now. Maxime Collin was at, I think in real life he's at Birmingham. In this game, may have been at a different club. I'm not too sure. But was a freebie. I'm a big fan of Maxime Collin in real life. I think he's a decent player. Again, that experience, 30 years of age. Jordan Williams is going to be going out on loan, hopefully, because he's still young enough. He's signed a new contract. That's one thing as well. A lot of players out of contract next season. We've renewed a couple, Williams being one, and Callum Styles as well is the first player to sign a new contract. Plenty of players that I'll be looking to extend their contracts of, but for now I've just been looking to get strength in depth with new signings. But Colin's going to come in and be a backup to Callum Britton. The next man in the door, Danny Welbeck, again, all about improving strength in depth. Could arguably have a place in the squad, but we've brought in another striker who's picked him to that post. But yeah, decent freebie really, released from Brighton. I think at this level could certainly do a job. You know, we're going to keep the narrow free up front so he can play up there, but can play out on the left if we choose to go back to the wide three at the top. But again, I just think, 31 years old, so the likes of Devante Cole and Freezer are missing out. Both going to look to loan those guys out as opposed to selling them. And yeah, Welbeck is in as a striker option. The next man to come in, Grisha Prummel. I've had a bit of experience with this guy on FM a couple of times. First time I've ever signed him on FIFA. Always a reliable signing. Bit of a ball winner in the midfield. Solid option. He's literally like fourth choice central midfield. But again, good strength and depth. Pretty sure he's at Union Berlin, but I could be wrong. But yeah, again, just a solid option to have in the midfield. So the main striker that we have brought in then, Cenk Tosun from Everton. He's going to replace Obiule in that middle role. He's going to be the lump up front that just sort of holds the ball up well. But again, I thought a decent option, 74 rated, an improvement on Ule on paper. 31 though, so again, a lot of these signings are older, so they're not going to stick around as long. That's why we're looking to loan out our regular players rather than selling them. Yeah, so I think Tosun is going to be a decent option, especially at this level. So the next man we brought in, Sead Kolasinac on a free from Arsenal, 75 rated. So he's only going to be a backup to Styles. He can play centre-back, actually. I didn't even think of that. Although we've improved quite heavily at centre-back. We've already got Helik, Anderson, Pavlovic as well. So even though Helik is actually not going to be starting this season because of someone else that we've brought in. But yeah, Kolasinac, back up to Styles, Premier League experience. So, just really solid option. Like I said, a lot of these players just strength and depth. Not many of them actually coming into the first team. But, like so much strength and depth now that the rotation shouldn't really affect us that much. And well, I mentioned this man in the last video. And well, he has arrived. I can't believe Reading released this guy. John Swift is in. He is going to be starting alongside Jacob Ramsey in that midfield. So a very attacking partnership in the middle of midfield. But as soon as I saw this guy was available, I could not bring him in. I love John Swift in real life. And on this game, obviously, I've played Reading career modes a lot. Being a Reading fan, this guy always delivers. 76 rated. One of our best players. And yeah, he's that set piece specialist that we've been lacking as well. He's so good at everything. So yeah, Swifty straight into this team. And I mentioned Helik's replacement. Jack Stevens is the man, released again from Southampton, letting a lot of players go. I didn't realise he's actually as old as he is at 28, but he's already come in and improved. Again, experience at this level. Really good, solid option. Our defence is stacked now. Our whole squad's stacked really for this level. But yeah, so Stevens going to come in, a wealth of experience, solid defender. And he's going to be playing on the right of the three at the back. So those are the 10 guys that we have brought in. As you can see, Styles has grown again on paper. Our best player at 77. But you can just see now so many players look just like... To get down to 73, a lot of scrolling already. There are a lot of players still that I want to get out. Toby Simic has also either left or on his way out. I think he's going or gone to Portsmouth, who are in our division this season. And Luke Thomas is on the verge of leaving as well. We've accepted a bid from Famalicão, I believe, to let him go. Really disappointing that he hasn't... considering how much he grew with us last on FIFA 21, unfortunately, just not quite at the same place. So he is going to be leaving us. But in terms of other players, we've still got some players out on loan. Ben Williams, we're looking to sell. because we've brought in Kolasinac. Shraha Moon still out on loan. Who else have we got? Kitchen we're going to look to get out on loan. Jordan Story I've put on the transfer list because of the likes of Clunter and Stevens coming in. As we said, Jordan Williams out on looking to loan him out. Jack Aitchison was out on loan last season. Going to sell him, I think. Christy Davis was on the transfer list last season. Didn't leave. Still looking to get him out. Herbie Kane was out on loan last season. Going to be selling him as well. Ramal Palmer, back from his injury, has really declined, unfortunately, being out for that long. But he finds himself now on the transfer list because of the other options that we have. Same with Claudio Gomez. He's still got a couple of months before he's fully fit, but really declined down to 65. So he is, sorry, just playing with my hair, got some hair in my face. He's going to be finding himself on the transfer list when he's fit as well, which is really disappointing. Valakari, we're going to look to loan out as well. Actually, with Gomez, we might loan him out. But Valakari finds himself on the loan list as well. Josh Benson is also on the loan list. Ali Alexander, our potential future star, he was on loan last season. Going to look to get him out on loan again next season. Luke Thomas, as we said, on the transfer list. Cole and Freezer on the loan list as well. George Miller, I was out on loan last season. Going to look to sell him. So that is everyone. Nathan Marsh still out on loan. So yeah, very bloated squad. Looking to get a lot of players out though. But yeah, hopefully now the squad has improved. That is the starting lineup. That's a bottom end Premiership team, I would say, for certain. But really excited to see how this is going to go. Ramsey has got his -3, but that's because he picked up an injury in pre-season, was out for about a month, so he hasn't really played any pre-season games. But hopefully he'll get up to scratch quick time. But that's our bench. Juan Fernandez, Helic, Kolasinac, Colin, Diop, Welbeck, Allaire. And then you can see all these players that we've got in reserve, but a lot of them we're looking to get out, to be honest. So what's that? 4, 8, 12, 16 players either we're looking to sell or loan out. So hopefully there'll be a bit more action. We did get a decent budget. It was about 10 million, a lot of wages, as you can imagine. All the players we brought in were all on wage, so we were skimping a little bit, but because we made a couple of sales, we've managed to recuperate a little bit. I've still got a couple of players on the as you can see on the shortlist. A couple of recommendations from you guys. If you have any more recommendations, by all means, leave them in the comments below. Zorgan is someone that initially I would have looked to bring in, and he would have been a contender to start with. Now, someone that maybe I could bring in and loan out. Wouldn't initially challenge for a starting spot, I think. Again, just because how much we'd leveled up the squad. But yeah, potentially someone that we could look to buy in and loan out at a young age. Gonzalo Ramos, again, I think if we signed him, he'd come in to start for us straight away. Only problem with him, he's at Benfica, and they want almost 30 million for him. So it could be a little while before we sign someone like Gonzalo Ramos. But as you can see, we are looking maybe to get in another striker, to see if we can find someone. With the amount of players we're selling, hopefully we'll build up a little transfer budget and we can get someone decent in, perhaps. And we've sent our youth scout out to England again. We only found one player last season, so hopefully we can get someone or a few more people in, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, a lot of talking in this episode. We start today with a game against Sunderland. As I said, I'm not too sure how the season is going to work yet. But we've got a lot of games, so we've got 2 of the newly promoted sides to kick off with. Looking forward to that. Oldham in the Cup as well. But yeah, so we're going to be moving through this season. I'll probably do an episode maybe like, I don't know, maybe every few games or so. Maybe like we'll do one, we'll just have like 1 game episodes or something with longer highlights. And we'll do them like every few games or so. So yeah, we'll start with this one today, and then maybe we'll sort of come back at the start of September or something when the transfer business has died down. But for now, let's go and play Sunderland with this squad and them being newly promoted. I feel like this could be a battering. Hopefully it will be. So this then our starting lineup, as you can see, a lot of high squad numbers because we've still got a bloated squad. And I like to keep the squad numbers realistic, so a lot of the new players have got some seriously high squad numbers. But yeah, so that's just one thing. But yeah, I've been through our team already. That's what it looks like. Sunderland, I'm eager to see what their team is going to look like, whether I know many of their players, to be perfectly honest. But this is Sunderland starting 11, so Lee Burge in goal, Huggins right, Doyle and Hume at the back. Looks like a back four, I'm going to say. It is indeed. So Evans and O'Neill in the middle, O'Brien, Embleton and Diamond across the three, and then Stewart up front. There's a few names in there I recognise. Not too many, it must be said. I saw Will Grigg on the bench as well. So we'll have to see how he gets on in the Championship. But yeah, the kickoff of Season 2 in this series is underway. And this is one I'm definitely looking forward to. Yeah, a few new players to get used to, but hopefully it won't take long. Ramsey will have a strike from distance straight down the throat of the Sunderland goalkeeper. A few big lumps up there now. Tosin, he's not quite as tall as Uller, but certainly a threat in the air. And a nice ball into Corley Woodrow. Oh, he's been tripped. And that is going to be a penalty, a yellow card for Callum Doyle. And Cenk Tosun is going to have the chance to score on debut, is he? If the game is just bugged out on me. No? Hello? There we go. Some frantically pushing buttons. Right, we're going to go top left. He's supposed to be very good at penalties, Cenk Tosun. And the keeper has pulled off the save. Of course it was going to be that way after saying that he was good at penalties. Well, not the start that Tosun would have liked, but we're looking good so far in this game, so I'm not too worried. I feel like the goals will come sooner rather than later. And Tosun, goes for the strike actually, but it's a good tackle. Osaka finds Swift into Tosun. Osaka. Woodrow had made a good move. But it's Callum Stiles. Goes for the strike. Tries to beat the keeper at the near post. And the half-time whistle goes. And this is a tougher test than I expected. Of course, we missed that beautiful chance with Cenk Tosun from the spot. Unfortunately, the keeper making the save. Oh, he's in. And it's a goal. Not exactly great commentary, but I was concentrating so hard at Sunderland. They deserve that goal. They've been a constant threat. And the same problems from last season are rearing their head in this one. Making a change, Swift has not really impressed on debut, so I'm bringing on Diop for a little bit more hopeful defensive stability. It's a bad challenge in there. Oh, it's going to be a red card. Okay, I didn't think the challenge was that bad. Right, we need to capitalise on this now. And they worked it well into the area, but again, there's a defensive block in there. And Tosun has found Osaka. Can he get past his man? He can. Osaka going all the way. And finally, we have got the goal. And it was, well, that was hard work. He celebrates with me, the manager, everyone. I don't think we should be going that mad for an equaliser against 10 men newly promoted side, but we'll take it. I was waiting for the defender to commit, and then I was going to slide it across to Tosun, but he just stayed there. So by the time he took the shot, I was nervous that he'd left it too late, but thankfully, it's gone in, and we look like we're going to spare our blushes. Looks like they're just going to hold on to it until the final whistle goes. Unless... Oh, Pavlovic. He's just taking him down, and it's a free kick in a dangerous position. I'm not too sure who's over it. Stewart has gone for it. And it just brushes the side netting as it goes out. But that is the end of the game. 1-1 it finishes. Not the most convincing of performances, it must be said. But, yeah, they dominated the ball. We had more chances. Arguably, quite lucky to get a point in that game, to be honest. But, We'll take it, certainly. And we've got some work to do. Portsmouth up's next in just a couple of days. Interesting that the first game of the season was midweek. In the end, a point is something we can build on. And we'll go from there. Yeah, like I said, I'll work out when the next episode is going to come to you. But guys, I hope you have enjoyed this season opener for season 2. If you have, pop a like on there for me. Let me know in the comments which do you think is the best of our new signings and who's going to do the best. Yeah, subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in a bit.